question number 5. So the triangle PQR has the following coordinates. So it's given us here P, Q and R, and it's also helpfully given us this little grid. So hopefully you actually took advantage of this and figured out which of these points is P, which is Q and which is R. So let's have a look. P is -3, 6. So there's our origin. So we want -3, 6. So this here is point P. Then we want point Q, which is 4, 7. So across 4 up 7, there's point Q, which leaves this as point R. So it tells us we've got a triangle PQR. So let's form that into a triangle. Okay, there we go. First part A, says calculate the median. This is the line joining Q and the midpoint of PR. Okay, let's just think about that. We want to find the median, and they've highlighted that in bold, and it's a line. So let's think about it. If it's a line, then we need to find the equation of that line. So it's a line joining Q and the midpoint of PR. So let's have a look at where that would be. So it's talking about Q. Okay, well there's Q and the midpoint of PR. So there's PR and we want the midpoint of that somewhere here. And it wants a line going from there, Q, to that midpoint there. Okay, so there's our midpoint. And we need that line there is called the median. And that's what we're being asked to find. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. Well, it talks about a midpoint of PR. So that's a good starting point. We know about midpoints. We've got a formula for midpoint. So we know our midpoint formula, x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So it's a coordinate, that's why we're putting it in brackets there. So what are we doing the midpoint for? We're doing the midpoint for P and R. So when I go to P, I'm going to call that x1, y1, x2, y2. So in this case, x1 is my -3, x2 is my 1 over 2, and y1 is 6 plus y2, -2 over 2. So now let's just work this one out. So -3 plus 1 is going to give us -2. So that's going to give us -2 over 2. 6 plus -2 plus and a negative next to each other makes into a subtraction. 6 take away 2 is 4, and that gives us 4 over 2, which when we simplify that is -1, 2. So that is the midpoint of PR. So that's what we found. So we have found for that line here, this coordinate there, that midpoint is at -1, 2. Okay, you can see I haven't drawn it very accurately, but that's okay. Well, it's given us a rough indication of where it is. Now we want to find the line. So we need to find the equation of that median. So that means we now need to think, well, here's a coordinate point, MP. There's the coordinate point, Q. If I've got two coordinate points, can I find the equation of the line? And that's what we need to do now. So we're going to take this midpoint, okay, and we're also going to take the coordinate of Q. So we've got that midpoint, which is the midpoint of PR, and I should have put that label there, and we're also going to take point Q, which is 4, 7. And we now want to combine those two together to find the line. So how are we going to do that? Well, we've got some formulas that we can use. So y take away y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. And we also know that our gradient, we've got a formula for gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now you can see I've just substituted this all in here. You could do it separately, so you could just separately work out what that gradient is by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Work that out separately and just substitute it as a value in there. Okay, I'm just choosing to combine it, but you can do it either way. Okay, so let's substitute this stuff in. So we've got our, let's think which is y1 and x. So this is our x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So y take away y1 is the value of 2 equals now y2 is our value over there of 7. Take away y1, which is 2, over x2, which is 4. Take away x1, which is negative 1. Bracket x take away x1, which is minus 1. Okay, simplifying. Y take away 2. Now 7 take away 2 is 5. 4 minus negative 1, so minus and negative makes a plus. 4 minus negative 1 becomes 5. X, now take away negative 1, take away negative becomes a plus. So remembering all our bead mass rules. Simplify this. Y take away 2 equals 5 over 5 is 1, bracket x plus 1. And I'm just going to rearrange that and take that minus 2 to the other side and expand out the brackets. So y equals 1 times x is x, plus 1 times 1 is 1, and this minus 2, when I move it across, becomes plus 2. So y equals x plus 3. So that there is the equation for our median.